Hello. I didn't quite get the last one finished. Something went wrong at the end of the tape, so I'll just continue that a little bit. It's in John chapter 20, verse 30. It says, after he'd said to Thomas, you believe because you've seen me, and blessed are those who believe without seeing me. Without seeing me. And I want you to think of this. There's a sense of knowing which comes down into the visible realm, where you so you can know something, but then you can see something. And he doesn't want us to get to that point where we have to see all the physical evidence, but that we just know that he's talking to us. That's the point he wants to get us. So anyway, it says here in verse 30, the disciples saw Jesus do many other miraculous signs in addition to the ones recorded in the book. But these are written so that you may continue to believe. In other words, you started believing, or just keep in and continue to believe. Go deeper and come to know that Jesus is the Messiah, that he's the Son of God, and that by believing in him, you will have life by the power of his name. So I want you to get the first point here. There's 3 points I want you to get. Things. Inside out, remember? Inside, there's no physical evidence. There's just a knowing, and then it comes out to some evidence, and then much more evidence. Now, where does Jesus want us? He wants us to be at that point where we know he's talking to us, that he is truthful before we can see all the physical evidence. Now, Thomas wanted a lot of evidence. Anyway, so we go back to the first point of Lazarus. He had a shout in a loud and angry voice, Lazarus, get up and wake up. Do you know, even the dead heard his voice, but those people around kind of didn't get it. They didn't hear the voice. They didn't believe enough. They didn't believe because they couldn't get his voice. They didn't get it. Lazarus, he had a shout to the point where Lazarus was actually dead, and he actually heard Jesus saying, come out, Lazarus. But he could have done it in a very simple way. He could have just said, oh, Lazarus, come out. Lazarus would have heard him. Even the dead would have heard him. But he shouted loud for the people to sound, get it, get it, get it. Can you get it? Can you get it? So that's the first point. Does God have to shout so loudly for you to believe? And the second one was when Mary was at the tomb. And she was out there, and she didn't recognize the things going on around her. She didn't even recognize he was in front of her. He was standing in front of her. He was standing. It was physical evidence. He was actually a person standing there. It was Jesus. But she didn't recognize him. He was sort of hidden from her sight. Right? Only when he actually spoke the word, Mary, wake up, I'm here. See? So does God have to even call your name? Has he got to keep calling your name? Has he got to convince you? Does he, first of all, does he have to shout like he did with Lazarus? Does he have to call your name many times? Hey, it's me, it's me, it's me, it's me. That's the second point. Or will it be the third point? And this is very interesting. It's when he came in the locked room where there was so much fear going on. And sometimes it takes being locked in isolation where there's a lot of fear for the Lord to come in the midst of you and give you that little bit of peace, and that you just know he's present. He doesn't have to shout loud when you're in isolation, when there's a lot of fear. I wonder if it suits this situation right now in the world. He comes in, and the only place you can find peace is when he's present. They said, peace be with you. And then he'll say again, peace be with you. Hey, you're getting it? I'm present because there's peace here. And he actually said to them, look, as the Father sent me, I'm going to send you. Let's see if you can get my word. But this time, I don't need to shout loud. And this time, I don't have to keep calling your name. Hey, wake up, wake up. He said, receive the Holy Spirit. And what he did is he just breathed on them. What place are you? Does God have to shout at you like he did in the Old Testament, all the dramatic signs and shaking up of things? Does he just want to have to speak his word with an authority? Call your name? Hey, say, come out. Hey, I'm calling you out. I'm singling you out amongst everybody else. No. Or does his breath There's just his presence there, and that brings peace in the midst of isolation and fear, that you actually know it's him, and then you will believe.